Patricia Krenwinkel says she's not the same person she was 25 years ago when she was a drug-addicted cult member who killed for her leader. But after nearly a quarter century in prison, has she earned her freedom? A parole board will decide as it reviews the life and crime of Patricia Krenwinkel.
It's grotesque. It's absolutely horrible. It's very difficult for me to live with the fact that I could do anything so horrible and so horrendous.
Patricia Krenwinkel is recalling the murders she committed for Charles Manson back in August 1969. She was 21 years old at the time. Krenwinkel is now 43. Today, the California Parole Board will decide if she's suitable for parole. The four factors the panel must consider are Krenwinkel's crimes, her life before her offenses, including any previous record, her conduct while in prison, and her plans if paroled. The panel of three must also examine Krenwinkel's motive for the crimes and look for signs of remorse.
All I was doing is carrying through a macabre dance. It was horrible, and I didn't know how to stop it. And I never knew how to stop it, just like I never knew how to stop Manson all along.
On August 9th, 1969, Charles Manson sent 5 of his cult followers out to kill the occupants of this house in the Bel Air district in Los Angeles. It was the home of Sharon Tate and her husband, film director Roman Polanski. Tate, who was 8 months pregnant, was brutally killed along with 4 others. Afterwards, when Krenwinkel returned to the ranch, Manson was waiting for them.
I said they were so young.
And what did he say?
Nothing.
The following night, Manson rode around Los Angeles with Krenwinkel and 3 others, looking for more people to kill.
And what were you thinking? Did you want to leave?
As I said, I think I was completely numb.
From?
The night before.
From the previous murders?
Absolutely.
They drove around until Manson randomly picked the home of Lino and Rosemary LaBianca. He sent Krenwinkel and the others in to do the killing.
The word helter-skelter, the word death to all pigs, the word rise. Did you write any of those words?
I wrote them all.
You wrote them all. And did you write those with the victim's blood, or how did you write them?
Yes.
In 1971, Krenwinkel was convicted of 7 counts of murder, 1 count of conspiracy to murder, and sentenced to death. But a year later, when the Supreme Court ruled the death penalty unconstitutional, her sentence was changed to 7 concurrent life prison terms. Krenwinkel became eligible for her first parole hearing in 1977. This is her 9th appearance before the board.
You were born in Los Angeles, right? And your parents separated when you were about 14 or 15.
Krenwinkel, a high school graduate with no previous criminal record, had used alcohol and marijuana. But after meeting Manson, she says she took hundreds of LSD trips.
But that was really one of his choices of drugs that we used from the time that I met him forward.
The board moves on to Krenwinkel's life in prison. So far, she has served 24 years.
And you've never had any disciplinary crimes, is that correct?
By all accounts, Krenwinkel has become a model prisoner. She earned her college degree, trained as a data processor, and has consistently involved herself in work that helps others, such as literacy and drug awareness programs. And the prison psychiatrist reports Krenwinkel has benefited from therapy and no longer poses a threat to society. The board must also decide if Krenwinkel has been sufficiently punished for the crime she committed almost 25 years ago. For Krenwinkel, it is the biggest hurdle.
Every day of my life, I try to define to myself that I have a little bit of self-worth, because it is terribly difficult to deal with this on a minute-by-minute basis, because I feel terrible about it, but I cannot change it. No matter what I do, I cannot change 1 minute of my life. I am paying for this as best as I can. There is nothing more I can do outside of being dead to pay for this. I don't know that's what you wish, but I cannot take my own life.
Mr. K.
Thank you. Members of the board, when you are...
Stephen Kay was one of the men who originally prosecuted the 5 Manson family members. He's determined to keep them in prison and has argued against their release at 45 parole hearings so far.
Make no mistake about it, the main reason that Patricia Krenwinkel should be found unsuitable for parole is due to her active participation in 7 of the most vicious, brutal murders in the history of American crime.
Wendy Parks has represented Krenwinkel for the last 10 years.
If the crime itself is something that will keep her in here for the rest of our lives, then please let us know now. We will end this meeting and we will go outside and take the board's determination on this. Is there something that this woman can provide to society in a safe manner? Is there any good that has come from the fact that her life was not taken? And that's the point we're starting from.
The last person to speak is Patricia Tate, the younger sister of Sharon Tate, one of the victims.
I think their crimes are bad enough that, yes, they should stay in prison for the rest of their lives. Like my sister will stay in her grave. I don't care if she's 68 or 102. I don't want to take a chance on any of these people getting out at any age and being able to be led again like they were once by some wild, crazy maniac.
Suitable for parole or unsuitable? That's the question. When we return, the parole board with the answer.
Everyone's clear of the room, and we'll call you back when we have reached a decision.
Patricia Krenwinkel and her supporters contend she deserves a parole date. Now, if the board agrees, Krenwinkel will still have to serve more time on her life sentences before she can be released, but how much time is up to the board. Krenwinkel's detractors argue she should never be free. Now the panel's decision.
Ms. Krenwinkel, the panel has reviewed all the information received from the public and relied on the following circumstances in concluding that you're not suitable for parole. And would pose an unreasonable risk of danger to society and a threat to public safety if released from prison. The offenses were carried out in an especially cruel and callous manner with a callous...
The panel does commend Krenwinkel for her outstanding prison record and requests she continue therapy. Patricia Krenwinkel's next hearing is set for 1996.